The city of Troy may be going smoke-free. We will get reaction from residents. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for June 11th, 2013. I'm Judson Garner. Thanks for joining us this evening. The city of Troy is in the middle of a downtown revitalization effort, and as a part of that, the city is planning on making it easier and safer for pedestrians to make a trip to the downtown area. Some city leaders say Troy's sidewalks are not just bad, but dilapidated.
They're old. Some of them have been there probably for 60 years or more.
Could improving sidewalks lead more downtown? Well, right now the city of Troy thinks so. The city will be applying for a grant that could aid up to $500,000 towards revitalizing sidewalks, mainly on Elm Street.
With this grant and other grants, we'll be able to also do other areas in the city.
And with these sidewalks being a convenient way for many students to get downtown, the city feels that making them just a little more welcoming isn't a bad idea.
They use them, but they also have to watch their steps.
And if the grant is not rewarded to the city of Troy, leaders say that they will continue to pursue funding sources. Daniel says that increasing street life in Troy will make it more attractive to visitors, students, and create a better sense of community for residents.
Use these new sidewalks to journey, I'll say walk downtown, so they can shop, they can use it for exercise. And so that will make an economic impact for the city because of the tax base.
There will be a public meeting on the Sidewalk Grant next Tuesday at 10 a.m. in the council chambers in City Hall. And at tonight's meeting, Troy City Council is supposed to present a new city ordinance that is expected to ban smoking in all public places in Troy. This afternoon, Felicia Payne hit the streets to find out what Troy citizens think about a citywide smoking ban.
An across-the-board no smoking policy is going to be brought before the City Council. This new ordinance would affect all places within the Troy city limits, but citizens have differing opinions on this topic.
For the smoking ban, it's detrimental to your health whether you're smoking or the person next to you is breathing it in, secondhand smoke.
I don't smoke, but still, if I go into a bar, I don't expect to be in a smoke-free environment.
My opinion is that I believe it's a great thing. I do think that, however, they should have some designated areas, you know, whether it's like some of the bars or something like that, because there are people that are going to do it no matter where they are. But I do believe that it's a good thing, just mainly for the health of everyone around, especially the children, because most of these places are family places.
The ordinance, which began as just a ban on water tobacco but is now to be a ban on all tobacco products, will be read during the City Council meeting Tuesday night.
Well, as a member of the Health and Wellness Committee for the university, I am in support of the tobacco-free anti-smoking campaign. I think if a person wants to smoke in their home or in their car, that's fine, but subjecting other people to smoke is just an invasion of your personal rights.
The new proposed policy would be more strict than the current no smoking policy that was put into effect in 2006.
I don't think it worked a few years ago, and I don't think it's going to work this time. Restaurants are already smoke-free. No, I'm not really bothered by it. I don't walk around and see people smoking all over the place.
Felicia Payne, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And the first reading of the proposed ordinance is supposed to take place tonight. The council should make their final decision at the following meeting in 2 weeks. And now taking a look at news from around the state, beaches in Gulf Shores have reopened under yellow flag conditions after being closed when 4 men drowned. The yellow flag conditions mean that swimmers should use caution. The men who drowned were from Arkansas, Kansas, Kentucky, and Louisiana. Former Senator Lowell Barron and aide from this last campaign are scheduled for arraignment June 24th in Fort Payne. Barron and former aide Rhonda Jill Johnson were indicted in April on 6 ethics and campaign finance charges stemming from Barron's unsuccessful re-election in 2010. The National Federation of Young Republicans will hold their annual convention in Mobile July 10th through the 14th. A vice chairman of the Young Republicans in Alabama says speakers will include Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, and Alabama Governor Robert Bentley. And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, another Troy Trojan has inked a deal with a major league club. Who is it? Mitchell Spoon will let you know coming up in sports. But first, another day of jury selection in the Trayvon Martin trial. We'll have the latest on that coming up.
Another round of juror questioning before opening statements in the murder trial of George Zimmerman, the man who shot Trayvon Martin to death. I'm Marley Hall in Sanford, Florida with the latest coming up.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. Right up here. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live united for education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
The path of my life, the way it took me, there was detours and things that had to be done, but I never lost the passion. I decided to continue my education and decided to do it here at Troy. But I've had a great support system with my teachers and my advisors, and I'll be forever grateful to them for that.
On campus or online, Troy offers you an extraordinary education and a culture of caring. Troy University, it's all you need to know.
My name is Deborah, and I choose Troy every day.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
A key vote in the U.S. Senate today could be the starting point for changing the way this country looks at immigration. Both the White House and the Congress agree on one thing: the U.S. immigration system is broken. But how should it be fixed is where the debate starts. We'll get more now from Tara Mergener.
For the first time in nearly 3 decades, the Senate is tackling immigration reform. Lawmakers took to the floor in both Spanish and English to call for sweeping changes to broken immigration laws.
The Gang of 8 has done its work. Now it's time for the Gang of 100 to do its work.
Mrs. Murray.
Senators voted Tuesday to move ahead with debate on a bill for Republicans and for Democrats, known as the Gang of 8, put together. The legislation would create a pathway to citizenship for the nation's 11 million illegal immigrants, but only after border security improvements are made. The bill was carefully crafted to win support from both sides of the aisle, but several Republicans are concerned the borders won't be secured and say it rewards those who ignored the law.
This is legislation that is a flawed legislation, fatally flawed, and it should not become law.
Ensuring the bill does pass is a top priority for President Obama. He gathered immigration supporters at the White House to try and sway those not convinced the bill has teeth.
If passed, this bill would be the biggest commitment to border security in our nation's history.
The president is pushing Congress to get the legislation on his desk by the end of the summer. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Lawyers in the George Zimmerman murder trial still have a long list of potential jurors to go through before opening statements. Today, they continue to weed out jurors who won't make the cut. Marley Hall has the latest from the courthouse in Sanford, Florida.
George Zimmerman took notes, talked to his lawyers, and occasionally smiled as another batch of potential jurors were questioned about their knowledge of the case.
Unless you've been living under a rock for the last year, it's going to be pretty hard for people not to have gotten some or a lot of information.
Juror B51, a white grandmother, said the former Neighborhood Watch volunteer should have waited for police instead of confronting unarmed teenager Trayvon Martin. Juror B35, a middle-aged African-American man, said people who organized protests over Martin's shooting, quote, politicized his death and made it a racial issue.
I don't know what happened because I wasn't there, but I don't think it was racially motivated.
Juror B37, a middle-aged white woman who has at least 10 pets, made Zimmerman smile when she said she's not a fan of the media.
Newspapers are used in the parrot's cage, not even read.
Do you read them before you
No,
do
I
it?
don't.
Okay.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys are trying to choose 6 jurors and 4 alternates, a process that could take 2 weeks. Here in Florida, 12 jurors are needed only for capital murder cases in which the death penalty is being considered. But that's not happening in Zimmerman's case. He's pleading not guilty to a charge that carries a maximum life sentence. Trayvon Martin's parents have been sitting behind the prosecutor's bench. Across the room, Zimmerman's wife has been seated behind her husband and his defense team. Marley Hall for CBS News, Sanford, Florida.
More and more children are surviving cancer thanks to better treatments, but a new study shows that therapies that can help them can also cause other health issues later on. Teresa Garcia explains.
Morgan McCann will never forget seeing the doctor just before her 10th birthday for pain in her right leg.
He did an x-ray and then you could clearly see that the bone was jagged because something was eating away at the surface of the bone.
Morgan had bone cancer. Multiple surgeries, including a hip replacement and chemotherapy, saved her life. Now, a new long-term study from St. Jude Children's Research Hospital shows most childhood cancer survivors have serious health issues as adults.
Changes in lung function, heart function, the function of the glands that produce hormones, and other brain and nerve function that may affect how they think and process information.
Researchers examined 1,700 childhood cancer survivors, including Morgan, and found 98% had at least one chronic health condition. Advances in cancer treatment have led to better childhood survival rates. Currently, there are 400,000 childhood cancer survivors in the U.S. But chemotherapy drugs and radiation are putting those patients at high risk for other problems.
You know, I know my organs are probably more sensitive than other people's after being blasted with chemotherapy for a year straight.
Researchers say these findings are a wake-up call to aging survivors.
If you notice something's wrong, pursue it immediately.
Morgan is now 29. She gets annual checkups and scans of her heart, and she also makes sure she eats healthy and exercises. Teresa Garcia, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And now Mitchell Spoon joins us for sports. So Mitchell, we had some players sign some deals recently, and today it was announced that another player recently inked a deal.
That's right. I'll reveal who that secret is starting right now. The Bomb from Guam made some big news today when he signed his contract with the San Diego Padres this afternoon. Troy's junior first baseman had 1 year of eligibility left at Troy but chose to forego it. The Barraguadan Guam native was selected in the 17th round of the 2013 MLB First Player Draft on Saturday. Santos is just the third native to hear his name called in the draft and will be looking to become just the second player from Guam to make a major league roster. Santos is the first Trojan to be selected by the Padres since Tom King in 2006. Santos will begin his professional career with the Padres' Class A short season affiliate, the Eugene Emeralds. The Emeralds opened their season on June 14th.